Security issues. There are chances that a call is dialed in from one of the channels of the T1 trunk, but we do not want the call to place the outbound call to the other T1 channels. To explain this scenario in a real-world case, we use the following example. A company is setting up a T1 link to a telephone company. Someone is calling to the company and the call is answered by auto attendant, and the auto attendant is asking for entering extension number. It happens that the person is familiar with the dial-out rule of this company, and placing an outbound number, might be international call, in auto attendant via the other channel of T1 link. This is a scenario we might not like to see in general. But sometimes, we would like to take advantage of this scenario, for example, to have someone make international conference call at home by routing the call via the company phone system. So, we might have a general scheme to control the access on the channels. For example, phone calls coming from T1/E1 trunk, inbound calls from T1/E1, are only allowed to dial SIP phone numbers or voice over IP, but now allowed to call out from any channels of T1/E1 link. Similarly, users on office IP network or internet might be given different level of access. In the following sections, we will elaborate on this issue. The general idea is, we will separate the dialing rules in the dialing plan into different layers. And we set the users as that they only have the privilege to access over certain layers of dialing rules. In the meanwhile, each IP phone account can be set to sit within given subnet so that the chance of unauthorized access can be reduced. Dialing rule context. There are 3 layers of dialing contexts defined in the system: default, middle, and all. The dialing context default contains minimal set of dialing rules, middle contains all the dialing rules in default, and all contains all dialing rules in the system. As for how many dial rules or what types of dialing rules are sitting in a specific context, it can be adjustable through management interface. For example, add phone cascade context management, we will see the dialing rules in each context: default, middle, or all. At this moment, only default is with rules. On phone basic channel dial plan, we add a dial rule for T1/E1 channels as follows: channel group, 1 dialing pattern, 232-1211, and press add button. And then, we go back to phone cascade context management to view each dialing context. We find out the rule has been added into all. Thus, only users being assigned to the context all are allowed to use this dial rule to dial out from the T1/E1 link. On phone basic extension account, we can set an SIP account in dial rule context all. In this scenario, the SIP user is allowed to use all dialing rules. We provide different versions of screen snapshots of phone basic extension account below. In newer version, the add function is separated from display and edit functions. After adding an extension account, you can see it on the list. On the other hand, we might want to change the dial context after a certain period of time. Then, we can navigate via phone cascade user context and find out the SIP user 6811 is in all. Then, we move this user to default so that this user can only use the rules in default. This can be similarly applied on the rules associated with SIP trunk, IAX trunk, or other analog channels. Phone call monitoring. Starting with the release VED 627, the monitoring option is added in the functions associated with the dialing rule setting. It is used to monitor those phone calls by recording the voice into audio files, in WAV format, so that those files can be playback 6 other media player programs. But the feature is available upon special request, we do not provide in the ordinary release. The monitoring option can be found in the following configuration screens: phone basic dial plan, phone basic channel dial plan, phone cascade IAX trunk, and phone cascade SIP trunk. They are shown as follows. If monitoring is activated, the records will be shown at phone audit voice records, and at the next day, the records will be moved to the directory /home/chat so that you can use our groupware interface to look for the old records. Please note that calls to conference rooms are not recorded at the moment of writing this document. Those voice records can be kept for auditing purposes. However, the system will not purge them automatically, they will be moved to the directory /home/chat every night at the end of the day. The administrator should delete or move the files from time to time to avoid running out of the storage space. In general, the file of a phone call of duration 60 seconds will occupy around 1 MB disk space. This can be used as a basis for storage planning. The call absolute timeout option in phone basic channel dial plan and phone cascade SIP trunk can be used to limit the duration of the calls matching the rules. For example, if we would like to set the limit for all calls no more than 300 seconds via a specific SIP trunk, we set call absolute timeout in the SIP trunk setting as call absolute timeout, SECS, 300.